This is supposed to be a Christmas video, but I don't have any Christmas movies to show you, so here's a Chinese nativity painting. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. It's the end of the year. As per tradition, let's talk about the best Chinese movies of 2025. This year the box office is dominated by animations, which is why our top picks are animated too. One is Kung Fu Harry Potter with a cat boy, the other is Journey to the West if everyone is a corporate slave. We also got a few honorable mentions, including 2 overlooked films from last year, some flop gems from this year, and also the best Jackie Chan movie in ages. Here's the full list if you want to peek ahead. But if you'd rather hear my personal thoughts, well, sit back and relax. These are the best Chinese movies in 2025. I remember when the first Legend of Hei dropped in 2019, it made waves among Japan's top animators. For a 2D production, that's an achievement. Behind the film is an entire media franchise beloved by the Chinese animation fandom. Naturally, expectations for a sequel was sky high. What we didn't expect, however, was have our expectation shattered. That is so rad. The Hei series takes place in a world where monsters hide among humans. It's like Harry Potter, but without J.K. Rowling, so better than Harry Potter. Xiao Hei is a cat spirit whose home was destroyed by deforestation. After the first film, he becomes an apprentice to Wu Xian, a human who's an enforcer for the guild, the organization that manages spirit-human relations. It's a bit complicated, that's why watching the first film is not mandatory, but recommended. This sequel follows a conspiracy. After a guild hall was attacked by humans, Wu Xian is framed as the culprit and is put under house arrest. Xiao Hei and his fellow apprentice Lu Ye must uncover the truth, while tensions between spirits and humans spike toward open war. No doubt, the film's greatest selling point is the 2D visuals. This is a globe-trotting adventure and every location is drawn with such care. Some places last only a few seconds, if not a few frames. What a flex. The locations are made better by the fight scene interactions. This little detail of the roofing falling off is so unnecessary, yet adds so much personality. Unfortunately, I can't show you too much without spoiling the mystery. The world is also packed with great character designs. Here's Nerja putting Wu Xian on house arrest.
No.
Look at how he casually passes the controller while wearing slippers and his own merch. In an instant, you know the kind of chaotic rebel he is. In fact, everyone is so well designed and written, even a simple hotel room conversation is interesting. But that's surface level appeal. Underneath its chippy exterior, there is a deep socio-political discussion going on. In this world, spirits used to rule over humans. Then humans industrialized, exploited the land, killing many spirits in the process. Peace only came with the founding of the guild. People who are familiar with East Asian history will instantly understand this allegory. Facing an imminent war, reactions vary. Some spirits see war as a chance to regain dominance, others desire vengeance for the past. The film, however, makes its stance clear.
我不觉得他是对的，但是我现在必须要去找他。
Here, we see spirits attacking humans, despite all of them being guild members.
人类都干出这种事了，还要再忍吗？
是他们几个干的吗？
This is an anti-war movie, one that doesn't just condemn past wars, but future ones too. Amidst rising global tension, The Legend of Hei II hits hard with its allegory. How much sacrifice is acceptable for peace? What does justice look like for the victims of violence? It's a thought-provoking movie. Unfortunately, any more words and I'll be spoiling the film. Just know that a summary cannot capture its nuance. The best way to see it is to see it for yourself. No doubt, some of you also want to recommend movies from your country. And with what Hollywood is doing, yeah, it might be the perfect time. But video making takes time and practice. If you want an easier way to share your pics, why not try building a website with Squarespace? After all, Squarespace makes the website making process incredibly simple and flexible. Start from scratch or choose a template. Either option takes only a few clicks. All the editing happens right in your web browser. It's intuitive and buttery smooth. By the way, I've been using Squarespace on Safari and everything still runs flawlessly. Since the website belongs to you, it can reflect your passion and personality in ways social media cannot. Start a free trial at squarespace.com/accidentalcinema. Use the code accidentalcinema for 10% off your first purchase. If you have a movie to share, why not share it with Squarespace? Start today with squarespace.com/accidentalcinema and send me a link when you're done. We now shift gears a little and talk about two movies that came out too late last year to be included in our 2024 recommendations. Often dubbed the Chinese Barbie, her story was hailed as an ideal first date movie because it pisses off the manosphere people. This feminist comedy follows the chaotic friendship between single mother Tianmei and hippie Xiao Ye. How chaotic? Well, in this dinner scene, Xiao Ye strips his bandmate to show off his body to seduce Tianmei and flex on her ex-husband, all while the ex-husband tries to win her back by quoting feminist literature. Yep, that's the movie's sense of humor. Most Chinese films about single mothers center everything on their sacrifice for their children. This film instead focuses on women's friendship and desire for autonomy. Tianmei has desire for romance and sex. She struggles with her career and she's not always composed. She defies social expectations, but that's why she's human. For Chinese culture, this blunt honesty is risque but also necessary.
血又不是屎，怎么能弄脏呢？你妈不来例假吗？
Speaking as a man, it's good to see the stories that goes untold by our society. Set in the shadow of the COVID pandemic, The Last Dance is a Hong Kong drama about Dominic, a wedding planner who moves into the funeral business, trying to pay off his debt. He partners with Master Man, a Taoist priest who performs in funeral rites meant to ease the suffering of the souls in the underworld. With time, the two becomes friends. Dominic goes from an outsider to an insider, gaining new perspectives on life and death. Today, The Last Dance stands as the highest-grossing Hong Kong movie of all time, a surprising feat for a modest story. And yet, through its simplicity, the film explores a topic of immense depth. What's the purpose of funerals? With its post-COVID setting, the somber tone of the movie resonates with Hong Kong. The answer to this question may be what the audience needed to hear. I'll not spoil the answer here. The profound realization should be experienced firsthand. Up next, some honorable mentions. Ne Zha 2 is only an honorable mention because no one puts the Avengers on the top of their recommendation lists. Unlike our more serious picks, this one is pure lighthearted spectacle with hype action sequences and some nasty jokes. It's blockbuster entertainment. Any deeper meaning is an added bonus. Whether you enjoy a popcorn flick like this is up to you, but if you do, well, this is one of the best. Based on a Chinese horror story collection, Curious Tales of a Temple is an anthology film containing 6 fantastical shorts. The film received mixed reviews in China, in part because it's a tired retelling of old stories, but that makes it an easy entry for our international viewers. The one story I recommend is Painted Skin. In the original story, a husband was seduced and killed by a demon, and the wife had to go to hell and back to revive him. It was a tale of devotion. But this adaptation questions that premise. Would she still be in love, knowing her husband's death was caused by his own infidelity? It's a complex emotion, and the film expresses that well. The ending left me emotionally stunned, in the best way possible. Based on a novel inspired by true events, The Lychee Road is a historical comedy about a low-ranking official tasked with delivering fresh lychee from the edge of China to the capital. The journey takes almost a month on horseback. Lychees spoil in 3 days. The emperor has asked for the impossible, failure means death. The film is a bold satire of bureaucracy. The topic resonated with people so strongly it caused lychee to briefly go viral in China. The film itself though, it's hit or miss. I like what it wants to be more than the final result. For example, in what seems to be the film's climax, the protagonists rise through the palace with lychees for 4 entire minutes of slow motion. It drains the audience of the last bit of emotion, only for a second climax to appear right after. The whole movie is oddly paced like this, which may bother some viewers more than others. I suppose that's why it's hit or miss. Still, beneath the flawed execution is a unique story. It's worth it to give it a shot. The Shadow's Edge is the best Jackie Chan movie in years. I know the bar is low, but this is a good one, I promise. Starring Jackie Chan and Tony Leung Ka-fai, this is a heist thriller about a battle between an old cop and an old thief. The movie is packed with well-choreographed fights, although some action scenes are way too over the top. The best part, however, is when Jackie and Tony meet, each pretending to be someone else, each probing the other for clues.
你当了多少年厨？10多年了。就用这样的刀啊？
The mind game between two smart people is suspenseful and thrilling. The film also plays with the idea of passing the torch, as both men are followed by the younger successors. Shadow's Edge may be a little bloated and uneven, but the good far outweighs the rough spots. Watching these veteran actors guide the next generation is a touching experience, well worth your time. So, this is my favorite movie of the year. Nobody is a 2025 animated comedy set in the world of Journey to the West, but instead of monkey and crew, this is a story about the little monsters. Pig and Toad are two small-time monsters working in the kitchen of King's Cave, one of the many monster lairs hoping to capture and eat Tripitaka. Yeah, working in the kitchen. The cave runs suspiciously like a corporation. This day, the two are assigned to clean a pot meant for cooking Tripitaka. The overeager duo scratches it like my roommate scratched my cast iron, and they are forced to flee for their lives. Now unemployed, the nobodies hatch a ridiculous plan. They'll impersonate the Monkey King and friends, race to India before Tripitaka, and snatch that Buddhahood first. Thus begins a bizarro journey to the West, where the heroes are the lowest level EXP foders. What if Journey to the West but Monkey sucks? The subtly soy-jack art style complements the premise well. This is legit one of the funniest movies I've seen all year.
老衲还有一件袈裟，可以送给法师。
那怎么好意思呢？
But it's also one of the most touching.
爸，我回来看看你。
I don't want to spoil the moment because this scene is very special. After 3 years of working in King's Cave, Pig finally returns home. The sight of a son caring for his bedridden father hits deeply for many Chinese viewers. Turns out, this is a story about a young man working in the city to support his family, losing his job, trying to start something on his own, and colliding with the harsh economic reality. Many of us look at this and see our own struggles on the big screen. That's the brilliance of Nobody. Journey to the West but with weaklings is a premise that asks important questions. What about the rest of us? Can we, the nobodies, complete the journey? Are we trapped in the lives we are born into? These questions make the film strangely depressing, yet within this darkness, it finds hope. Seeing the nobodies hanging out around a campfire reminded me of nights with my own friends. The street food we shared was cheap and low quality, but was made delicious by the company. There's joy to be found even in an unfair world. As someone who's been struggling with depression, this is something I really needed to see. It is truly special when a comedy moves you to tears. And that is my recommendations. You know, they say an average YouTube channel lasts 5 years. We are on our 7th, and every year, I'm still just as excited to make this video. Across many cultures, New Year is a time of gathering. What better things to do than gather online with people all over the world? That's why I'm always thankful to have you here. But it's no fun when I'm the only one speaking. That's why I have a question for you. What are your recommendations from your countries? What are they about? Why are they special? Comment below and let's celebrate. Happy holidays. I'll see you in 2026.